welcome you all to the last edition of the Osun Mastermind State of the State Address for the year 2024. Record that we have remained consistent through the years, speaking to and analyzing policy issues in Osun State and in Nigeria. In the year 2024, we addressed the following critical issues among others: subsidy removal and the attendant hardship, inflation, instability of foreign exchange rates, continued non-completion of projects at the Osun State House of Assembly, despite huge financial allocation to the Assembly, relocation of the MQ Abiola Airport from Osun, shooting of the Osun Transport Management System chairman, and the responses thereto, Living Spring Technical College Housing Estate and Mall, and the allegations of land grabbing surrounding the project, the flyovers under construction in Osun State, general hardship in Nigeria, insecurity in Nigeria land, food scarcity around April 2024, Osun government plan to resuscitate technical colleges, ongoing teachers recruitment, Osun Cyber Crime Committee, illegalities in processes of contract awards in Osun. These and many other issues form the core of our policy analysis for 2024. As you may have already noticed, some of the issues are still pending full resolution by the relevant arms of government, and we shall be addressing these issues very briefly here today, demanding accountability from relevant agencies of government. 1. Lack of accountability in the Osun State House of Assembly. We raised further questions about the level of accountability in the Osun State House of Assembly as far back as March 2024. As of the end of Q3 2024, the Osun State House of Assembly has expended 2,330,854,902 naira 25 kobo. Our question then, as we ask again and now, is what responsibilities could have got over 2 billion naira in 9 months? Till date, the feasible project that the Assembly is undertaking has been abandoned. The State House project and the rehabilitation of the Assembly quarters remain uncompleted to date, further raising our worries about the lack of accountability under the Speaker, Adewale Egbedun. For an arm of government that generates close to zero income for government, expenses that cannot be justified are reckless and grossly irresponsible. Recall that one of our constituent organizations, Center for Sustained Dialogue, wrote to the office of the Speaker demanding details of the Assembly's expenditure. Many months after, to date, no response has been provided to the big question that the CSD asked in the letter. CSD means Center for Sustained Dialogue. We ask again today, December 2024, as 2024 comes to a close, what is the Osun State House of Assembly spending money on? Why are its ongoing projects still not completed to date? Plans to resuscitate technical colleges. In March 2024, we commended plans by the Osun State government to resuscitate the state technical colleges. Almost 9 months after that announcement, however, we do not see any visible action that matches the promises made earlier in the year. We ask the Osun State government, as the year closes, what has happened to the plans to resuscitate the technical colleges. Airport relocation. In the month of November, we spoke about the plans by the Osun State government to move or relocate the airport in Osun, Osun to Ede. We considered then that the move had bad optics and cautioned the state government not to eat up the polity. We have received news in recent times that the federal government has cancelled the proposed relocation of the airport, but the Osun State government has remained silent on the issue, on the matter. We asked the Osun State government what has happened to plans to lay the foundation of an airport after expending scarce state resources on feasibility studies, committees, and technical reports. Also, people deserve to know if indeed the plan to build an airport in the state have been halted. Pardon of Olowokere, an attempt to instigate the judiciary. We have followed with worries the ill-advised move of the Osun State government to, according to government release, investigate a valid court judgment. While it does not need to be excessively repeated, we must join our voice to every sane voice, calling on the Osun State government to start exercising restraint in the use and attempt to use its executive powers. Recall that in one of our earlier press conferences or addresses, we mentioned that the state government should be cautious in promulgating executive orders. The executive arm of government has no power to investigate the decisions of courts of competent jurisdiction. The governor retains the right to grant clemency, but even that right must be exercised with caution. The judiciary is a distinct arm of government, and no other arm can be seen to be interfering or undermining it. It is worthy of note and quite worrisome too that the Osun State government has in the past shown the same level of recklessness in dealing with judicial issues. We recall the attempt to install an active chief judge in the state against all known dictates of the Judicial Service Commission. We worry that this continuing trend of executive recklessness will lead Osun into a dark abyss of lawlessness and disregard for the rule of law. We strongly advise the Osun State government to tread softly and not allow itself get misled by populist politicians who have no regard for appropriateness, decreasing cost of fuel. We have noted with some delight that the cost of fuel has started to drop, with some stations currently selling at 995 per litre. This, while being heartwarming, is still very far from the comfortable price for the average Nigerians. We call on the federal government to intensify efforts to ensure that petrol prices crashes further to ease the pressure on the average Nigerian whose life has been made very tough since the removal of fuel subsidy. Mr. President cannot and must not rest until we have obtained a pump price that does not make life miserable for the common man. Stampedes across Nigeria. We are receiving with deep regret and sadness the news of stampedes that have claimed lives in Ibadan, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. I think one also happened in Anambra. The sad occurrences are pointers to the level of hardship, poverty in Nigeria, and serve as a wake-up call to the president to urgently find ways to alleviate the sufferings of the common man who has been impoverished by his government's economic policies. We are deeply bothered, and we hope government can curb the hardship as urgently as possible before we lose more lives. In conclusion, it has been a challenging and eventful year. We have engaged policymakers across board and fiercely voiced our thoughts on how we believe Nigeria and our state to be governed. We hope on that premise and on the contributions of other concerned stakeholders like you, gentlemen and ladies of the press, as well as the backing of God, that 2025 will be a better year for all of us as a people, both in Osun and the whole of Nigeria. We wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Thank you. God bless you.